This is the Fifth Estate, coming to you from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi City and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, we will dispatch a letter to Uhuru Kenyatta on how to fix the GEMA crisis. We will begin with a story. It is about a Spanish general named Hernan Cortez. This young man dropped from law school in the 1500s and decided to pursue war as a career. He gathered a few soldiers and set out to destroy the Empire of Aztec in Mexico. No nation had won against this empire for 600 years, but young Cortez was determined to be the first. But when he arrived at the shores of Mexico, his soldiers developed cold feet. They were only 500 men with 13 boats. How could they bring down such a huge empire? Shortly after, a mutiny started stewing, with the soldiers threatening to kill the general. But quick to action, the general reasoned. If I destroy all the routes of escape, the soldiers will have no option but to fight with me with all they have. And this is what he did. Because they had sailed by boat to Mexico, he burnt all the 13 boats as the soldiers watched in horror. Then he threw away all of their supplies, including food and water. At this point, the soldiers had no route of escape. Their only option was to fight and capture the Empire of Aztec.
Dear Uhuru Kenyatta, I come to you as a young student of law. I may be young and foolish, but I know one thing. God makes history using young people. And this is because old people have too much experience to listen to the voice of God. What God is telling the house of GEMA, sir, is this: burn the boats. Burn the boats of Kikuyu privilege of the last 100 years. Burn the boats of GEMA entitlement going back to 1923, when the Devonshire White Paper elevated Kikuyus above all other tribes. Like General Cortez, whose victory was impossible if he had not burnt the boats, you are the only one to get GEMA out of their comfort zone. You are the one to make it impossible for GEMA to escape or turn back to the privileges of the colonizers. But if you do this, the question is, where are they going? To Kalonzo and Gachagua? Zero. At least for General Cortez, there was a treasure in Mexico that had not been discovered for 600 years. When he burnt the boats, the soldiers had something to look forward to. Each of them would have a piece of the treasure.
Dear Uhuru Kenyatta, burn the boats and liberate the GEMA nation. Put them in a place where it is impossible for them to turn back or escape. Only then will they focus on the fight and the treasure ahead. And this is why we say so. Sir, you taught us the difference between the political kingdom and the economic kingdom. Then you told us that Africans are busy chasing the political kingdom as foreigners are colonizing the economic kingdom. And that is why we are poor. And Raila is clever. He has abandoned the political kingdom. He has followed the Ruto economic kingdom as GEMA is chasing the political kingdom. If General Cortez had burnt the boats without the vision of the treasure hidden 600 years ago, the soldiers would not have followed him. Now Ruto has appointed GEMA to the treasure island. He appointed 3 serious Kikuyus to cabinet and even brought Kamudhogo in as chairman of some parastatal. He is inviting Kikuyus to pursue the economic kingdom as Uhuru taught us. And what is wrong with that? If Raila has abandoned the political kingdom for the economic kingdom, why should Kikuyus follow Gachagua? What treasures has he seen yonder in the horizons to make them follow him?
Dear Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua has no plan. He is like the Russian rebel who led the Decemberist uprising of 1825. This clueless rebel, called Ryalev, was arrested and sentenced to hang. However, on the day of execution, there was a mechanical problem. The rope around his neck broke and he fell to the ground. As he got to his feet, he yelled to the crowd saying, "In Russia, they can't do anything right. They can't even make rope." In those days, a man saved like this was pardoned. But as the Tsar signed the pardon order, he asked if the rebel has said anything after this miracle. The messenger replied, "Sir, the rebel said that in Russia they don't even know how to make rope." "In that case," said the king, "let us prove him wrong." The king tore the pardon order and the rebel was hanged the next day. This time the rope did not break. In October, Ruto sentenced Gachagua to hang by impeachment, but the rope broke. But if Gachagua continues the rebellion, he will be hanged properly, not by Ruto, but by the GEMA nation. Instead of burning boats like General Cortez, Gachagua has been burning bridges. That is why GEMA will hang him alive.